Dear friends, today we will compare the plight of the life of black people of America with the life of the scheduled caste people of India in various walks of life. The comparison of the life of black Americans with scheduled caste people of India reveals that there are striking similarities and significant differences in various fields. The people of both these groups have faced systemic discrimination, social exclusion, and economic hardships due to historical and institutionalized inequalities in life. While talking about the historical context, for centuries, black Americans were subjected to slavery, which was followed by the Jim Crow laws enforcing racial segregation. Despite the evolution of slavery in 1865 and the civil rights movement of the 1960s, structural racialism still continued. The Jim Crow laws were state and local laws introduced in the southern United States in the late 19th and early 20th centuries that enforced racial segregation. The Jim Crow being a discriminatory term for an African American, so such laws remained in force until 1965. The civil rights movement against racial discrimination was started by leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm, and Rosa Parks. This movement sought to end segregation and secure equal rights for black people at par with the white Americans. On the other hand, the scheduled caste people of India were also suffering from centuries old caste system started in the name of Manu Simriti, written by an ancient Indian writer Manu. The SCs, historically known as untouchables, were placed at the bottom of the hierarchical pyramid of caste system with Brahmins at the top of this pyramid. This system dictated social status, occupation, and access to resources. With a view to free SC people from such caste based domination, various social reforms were undertaken by various social thinkers and reformers like Periyar, V. Ramaswamy, Jyotiba Phule, Narayana Guru, Mahatma Gandhi, and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. It is important to know that significant efforts were made to uplift SC people significantly by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who played a crucial role in drafting the Indian Constitution, according to which the caste-based discrimination was declared illegal. Moreover, centuries-old practice of untouchability was abolished with the efforts of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as per Article 17 of the Indian Constitution. When we think about the education field, the picture was very serious and dangerous for black Americans in America as they faced numerous historical barriers. The black Americans faced segregated and underfunded schools. Despite desegregation efforts like Brown versus Board of Education ruling in 1954, unfortunately, disparities still continue between black and white Americans. The policy of affirmative action for ensuring representation of the black Americans is also available in America. This is similar to the affirmative action adopted in India in the form of a reservation in the field of education. Such an action has been resorted to in USA to uplift the black Americans to increase their representation in American educational system. However, such policies aimed at increasing black representation in higher education have faced legal challenges and varying levels of success for a long period at the hands of local white people, including their white leaders. On the other hand, the scheduled caste people in India were having very limited access to education. Religiously and historically, SC people in India were having limited access to education. Even in the modern times, the situation has not improved much. Even today, the SC children often attend poorly funded government schools where quality of education is very poor. Moreover, the SC students face discrimination in the education field. To help the SCs to come to the mainstream, the reservation system has been adopted in India. This is being done by allocating a percentage of seats in educational institutions to SC students. This has increased the representation of the SC students. However, such a system has also led to controversies and debates on meritocracy and social justice. The black Americans often face discrimination in the employment and job market. They face difficulties in securing jobs, hiring by various departments and companies, wages and promotions. The unemployment rate for black Americans is consistently higher than that of the white Americans. There is glass ceiling concept for the black Americans in USA about their career growth. The term glass ceiling refers to a metaphorical invisible barrier that prevents certain individuals from being promoted to higher positions in the organization or industry or the country as such. The fact of the matter is that the black professionals frequently encounter barriers to reaching top positions in various walks of life and institutions in America. While talking about the scheduled caste people in India, historically there has been occupational segregation. The SCs traditionally performed certain menial and stigmatized jobs. While some have moved to other sectors, many remain in low paying and unskilled jobs. There are certain safeguards about government jobs in India for SC people given through Indian constitution through the concept of reservation in jobs. Similar to education, the Indian government has reserved a percentage of government jobs for SC people, which has provided some upward mobility. However, reservation in jobs has also led to resistance, discrimination, and social tension. While talking about the social status and discrimination, it can be said that there are incidents of social discrimination with the black Americans. The racial profiling and police brutality is often witnessed. Incidents like the killing of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor have highlighted systemic issues of failure of law enforcement agencies. While there have been significant improvements in the representation of the black culture in media, but still stereotypes and cultural biases are seen quite often. Coming to the plight of scheduled caste people in India, it has been observed that despite legal protections, the SCs often face violence and social ostracism or social boycott. Incidents like the 2016 Una flogging highlight ongoing caste based violence. There is cultural exclusion of the SCs in India in almost all fields of life, especially social, cultural, and religious fields. The SCs are frequently excluded from mainstream cultural practices and they face stigma in rural and urban settings alike. Talking about the political representation for the black Americans, historically, political participation has remained a big issue. They remained unrepresented in political offices for a long time. They have made significant gains, particularly in recent decades. There is also voter suppression of black people in America. These are ongoing issues with voter suppression efforts targeting black communities. They are harassed into submission and for opposing or favoring certain candidates. As regards scheduled caste people in India, there are reserved seats for them in parliament, state assemblies, and local bodies. The Indian constitution mandates a certain number of legislative seats for SC people, ensuring their representation. For the last few decades, there has been surge in political mobilization among SCs. They have formed political parties and started various movements to advocate for their rights, though they still face many challenges in mainstream politics. Now coming to the economic disparity. For black Americans, there is huge wealth gap. Black Americans have significantly less wealth compared with white Americans due to historical injustice and discrimination, which still plays its active role. As regards access to credit, the discriminatory lending practices have made it difficult for black Americans to access loans and create wealth. The majority of the scheduled caste people in India, on the other hand, live in perpetual poverty. Even today, despite talk of huge progress India has made in the world, they are still dependent on five kilograms of food grains as lollipop from the government. The SCs are disproportionately represented among India's poor. Economic mobility is often limited by social barriers and lack of access to resources. There are various social welfare schemes in the form of supply of 5 kilograms of ration or food grains, supply of free power or gas, old age pension scheme, help in making toilets, small rooms, etc. But these schemes are not enough for changing their life as these are cosmetic in nature. In fact, they need better education and jobs for becoming self reliant rather than remaining dependent on government dole. However, various government and NGO initiatives aim at providing financial assistance and promote entrepreneurship among SCs. Coming to end, it can be said that both black Americans and scheduled caste people in India continue to face significant challenges rooted in historical injustices and systemic discrimination. The efforts to address these issues, such as affirmative action in America and reservations in India, have had mixed results. The ongoing advocacy, legal reforms, and societal change are essential to achieving true equality and justice for these people. Thank you very much.